It's time for round 26 in Battle Tower Singles level 50. I've achieved my goal now of 25 rounds, so everything beyond this is just really nice bonus. The team has actually been a lot more enjoyable to play without commentating. Because there's not much action happening, so there's not much to commentate. So it feels really boring, and it's also just... I need to pay attention, and even though I'm not saying much when I commentate this team, it's still making everything a lot more difficult. So I'm kind of surprised by how much I'm enjoying using this team. And I was also a bit apprehensive about the voiceovers, but they've actually been really easy to do. I find that I have a lot to talk about in the voiceovers, or at least enough, most of the time. So that's good. I've been recording a lot of these in advance. So the first one with the voiceover still hasn't been released yet, so I hope that you guys are also enjoying them. But yeah, I'll switch the voiceover and then I can focus on the battles. So I'll see you in the last battle. Alright, time for the voiceover. This battle is actually probably the toughest battle in the whole round. And it's not actually that tough. I just needed to figure out, what am I gonna do against Salamence? Am I afraid of Dragon Dance? Or am I not afraid of Dragon Dance? And I think the answer is that I'm not afraid of Dragon Dance. So I'm gonna end up protecting turn 1 to scout for something like a Rock Slide. And this one does have Rock Slide. Now Rock Slide can be Dragon Dance, but doesn't have to be. In this case it is Dragon Dance. But it actually isn't gonna do much damage to me. So here we scout Rock Slides, so I'm gonna stall out the Rock Slides first. I'm looking up which sets have Rock Slide. One of them is Dragon Dance. So 3 protects, 2 substitutes, and there will be all the Rock Slides gone because of pressure. And then this one has Dragon Dance, Facade, and Earthquake. And here I'm like, what am I? I'm gonna try to burn it, or do I want to heal first? And I looked at the damage, and it's not doing that much to me. So I have some turns to Will-o-wisp, and now I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to switch. I think I could stall this out with the Moltres, but that would cost me a lot of PP. So I just heal and then I switch to Skarmory so I can Whirlwind. This is Bright Powder, so I could miss. And I think I do. Let's see, do I already decide to switch to Skarmory? I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure out if I want to kill this by just stalling with Moltres, but I don't think that's the play. Because I don't know what's in the back, and I might need the PP and the HP on Moltres. So yeah, I do switch into Skarmory here. Go for the Whirlwind. Misses, of course. But Salamence still doesn't see any damage. And in comes Aerodactyl. I protect and it's Fire Blast. So good thing I went for the protect. But this also means that it's a slow Aerodactyl and Moltres is going to outspeed this. So switch into Moltres. And we're going to stall Rock Slides again. So 3 protects, 2 substitutes. And then I just need to stall out the last Fire Blast, and then this thing cannot hurt Skarmory anymore. Because it has Double Edge and Dragon Claw. And I'm pretty lucky because Aerodactyl, after running out of Rock Slide, decides it wants to Fire Blast me for some reason. So I was thinking about switching into Skarmory to bait out the Fire Blast, but it's a good thing that I didn't. I get the burn off, so it's doing even less damage. Switch in on a crit Dragon Claw that does 31 damage to Skarmory. And then I tried to scout the last Pokemon, but Salamence comes back, goes for Dragon Dance, so it doesn't achieve anything. And there's Lapras. And this is Oko moves only. Sheer Cold, Horn Drill, Rest, Sleep Talk. So I have to stall this out a bit. Well, I don't really have to because it starts going for Rest. But I didn't want to take the risk of switching in on a Sheer Cold or a Horn Drill. But because of Sturdy, it shouldn't be able to go for it. It knows that the move is going to do nothing. Now Rest also isn't doing nothing, but I think it has a little bit more priority because you could get hurt. So Rest could technically do something. May also have something to do with Skarmory being faster. Like maybe if Lapras was faster, the rest would be the same priority. I'm not sure. But I'm playing it safe. I'm just spamming Torment, which does nothing until it runs out of PP on one of the Oko moves. But it's Leppa Berry, so it gets PP back. Here it's finally out. And I protect. And it can never hurt me again. And it's also out of rest. And that was the last attacking move. And here I was like thinking, well, I beat another trainer without Blissey. But I figured if I set up with Calm Mind, it's at least going to be faster to kill the other Pokemon, so I might as well. But yeah, I didn't need Blissey in this battle. And Earthquake doesn't even break the substitute. And then Aerodactyl is last. And I guess I won this battle with full HP. I didn't even realize in the moment. We're gonna win multiple battles at full HP on all our Pokemon. And Lapras is back, but it's not the same one. This one is Thunderbolt. And I was looking at it, and one of them is only special attacks, and the other is Double Edge Iron Tail. And like, I'm hoping it's not Double Edge, so I can set up fully with Blissey, but of course it is Double Edge, and now I'm like, do I want to switch around? But what I end up doing is just soft boiling, so it dies to recoil damage. Which is funny. It could have been kind of bad if the last Double Edge crits me. But it didn't. And I would have lived because it only does about a third. I just wouldn't have had as much HP, which of course isn't the best. But in this battle it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So yeah. Lapras deals a decent chunk of damage, takes a lot of recoil. Does have Shell Bell, but Shell Bell is so ineffective at healing. It's almost worthless. A couple of times I go for a substitute, because with a substitute and the low roll from the Lapras, I go to almost full HP. Just gives me some more value from the soft bolt. Doesn't really matter. I have enough PP. And I have a Leppa Berry. So yeah, Lapras goes down to recoil. Machamp comes in. Go to Moltres. This time I don't get crit on the cross chop. I don't know which round it was, but last time I did get crit by cross chop, but still only does about 50%, so we're fine. And this is Rock Slide, which means it's never Quick Claw, so I'm always fine. So I stall out all the Rock Slides. And then it has Double Edge, which if it crits is going to deal a lot of damage. So I'm just going to switch into Skarmory. And Machamp decides to go for Cross Chop, gets the crit this time and does a lot of damage, but not enough. I protect, but it goes for Earthquake, so didn't stall any PP and I didn't really need to stall. Gets another crit with the Double Edge, it's Scope Lens, so it's likely. And then comes out Dugong, which this is Sheer Cold. So I'm trying to figure out how do I stall this. So I'll just go for Torment. And it goes for Sheer Cold the next turn, which means I could have switched, but I didn't. But that doesn't really matter because now that it knows it can't damage me, it can't really do anything anyway. So I go into Blissey on a Surf. It has Signal Beam, but it didn't break the substitute, so we're fine. And yeah, just set up for free. The Sheer Colds are gonna miss, which just gives me more turns to set up for free. Not that I really need the turns because Surf and Ice Beam aren't gonna do any damage at this point. But yeah, I set up, I kill the Dugong, deal a lot of damage to Machamp. And because I have a substitute up, like I'm not sure, it might even die to Double Edge, or I got a crit, or just to hit it. I don't remember actually. But yeah, Blissey's gonna take out the Machamp. Oh, it went for Earthquake, yeah. And then I 2-hit it. And then next, Fisherman Bailey, who leads with a Mantine. So I can just set up with Blissey on this. And it sets up a Rain Dance, but it's not faster, so it's not Swift Swim. And the only thing that was, well, not threatening, but potentially annoying was if it was Swift Swim and it set up it used Confuse Ray. But because I'm faster, I can never get confused. And then I do spend a little bit of time thinking about if I need to scout the last Pokemon after I beat this. And I was looking at the Pokemon, and this trainer doesn't have that many. And there's no Gyarados, so I don't have to worry about that. But I did see Double Team Wailord. And then I remembered Wailord can have Water Fail. What does Water Fail do? It prevents burn. So I was like, oh no, I could run out of PP maybe with hidden powers. But then I saw the item and it's Chesto Berry and not Leftover, so it doesn't matter if I run out of PP, it's gonna die to struggle. So yeah, I don't have to scout the last Pokemon. We just kill the Lantern, and next is Starmie. Starmie's gonna die and achieve nothing because it went for Thunder Wave, Confuse Ray. And we're on to the next Pokemon. Last Emily, who leads with a Fortress. And the Fortress has Quick Claw. And it also has Explosion. And I'm gonna protect turn 1. But I can't go for Substitute because if it's Quick Claw Rock Slide, I'm probably just dead or I'm at like 1 HP. So I don't want that to happen. So I go into Skarmory. And I go for the Torment, and I'm trying to bait out Explosion, but doesn't go for it. Just goes for Double Edge. And I decide to Whirlwind it. And in comes Glalie, which is Leftovers, Ice Beam, Earthquake, Crunch, Shadow Ball. And I was looking up the damage, and Earthquake is roll to kill or to destroy the substitute from Blissey. So heal back to full, and I think I'm gonna go into Moltres now. And we can easily stall out the Ice Beams. And I think I also stall out the Earthquakes, but I don't remember how I do it. Maybe I do some switch stalling. Or the AI just breaks and starts earthquaking me because of dual typing. Go into Skarmory to heal it up because it takes no damage from Crunch or from Shadow Ball. And the last Pokemon is Raichu. Then I'm looking up the set. It's Bright Powder with Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, Protect, Mega Kick. And I go for a Protect, but it also protects. So mine failed. So I protect on the next turn. And I set up a substitute. I am gonna end up being paralyzed. But it's not bad enough for Blissey to die to the Mega Kicks. So we actually fully stall this. And it's not a problem if Blissey were to die because Moltres outspeeds this, so we can fully stall it. But that doesn't end up being necessary. Like if I got paralyzed here, I probably would have switched. But that wasn't necessary. And a Thunderbolt crit, but doesn't matter. We'll kill the Raichu eventually. And after this, the Fortress comes back in. I'm gonna hit it, it's gonna double edge, and I'm gonna switch into Skarmory because I think it's going to explode, and it will explode. And we survive because we're Skarmory. And then this battle, I take a little bit of extra time to go for the max full HP on the whole team victory. I just think that's a fun achievement. Oh, I think we just stalled out the Earthquakes with Blissey. Blissey's just too strong. It only had a couple left as well. So yeah, I was just waiting for the substitute to break, healed to full, and now I'm killing it in 3 attacks. And the next battle is gonna take a little while. Not super long, but a little while. At least with Espeon. I'm like, I probably just want to match the Calm Minds with Blissey. Because I just get so tanky and it only has 10 PP. But turns out this Espeon is actually slower than my Moltres, so I could have stalled it with Moltres. And I kind of do at some point. And with one Calm Mind up, +2 Espeon doesn't break the substitute. And I could get crit at this point, but it's not that scary. Not sure how much damage it would have done. And it baton passes into Blissey. I'm like, oh no, it's Calm Mind boost Blissey against another Blissey with Calm Mind. And goes for Sing. And I go for Hidden Power. I deal no damage, but I see that it's leftover, so now I know which Blissey that is, because there's 2 with Sing. And I'm like, this has Seismic Toss. If it puts my other Pokemon to sleep, and I get max sleep turns, maybe I die to Seismic Toss. So I just decide to completely stall Blissey out of Sing with my own Blissey, which is going to take a while because it's 15 PP, and it's also going for Seismic Tosses every once in a while, which is 20 PP. So I want to switch because it would be much easier. But I decide it's safer to just stall it out. I'm not sure what the max sleep turns is. I think it's 5, but maybe it's 4. And I think Moltres with Leftovers might live, but I'm not sure. And I don't really want to risk it, so I might as well just go for the free stall here. I could have stalled it out of Seismic Tosses as well, but once it's out of Sinks, I'm just going to go into Moltres because it's faster. And it's also Natural Cure Blissey, which kind of ends up activating. It doesn't really matter, but it activates. Because the Espeon is going to Baton Pass again after running out of Psychics, and I'm going to burn the Blissey, but then Blissey has a lot of boosts and leftovers. So I decide to Whirlwind it out and burn it again, and then kill it with Blissey. So here I stall out the last Seismic Tosses, and then I'm gonna try to Whirlwind, but this is Attract Blissey, and Skarmory is a simp for Blissey apparently. Maybe Skarmory just really likes my own Blissey, and well, here's another one. Immobilized by love. Immobilized by love. There we go. Okay, it's gonna happen again, and it's gonna be worse. I want to see what the last Pokemon is. So immobilized, that's one. There's another one. There's another one. Another one. And at this point, it only has 1 substitute left, or 2. Oh yeah, 2. So I didn't want to Whirlwind it out when it could still substitute, because then I can't burn it. So I figured I'd protect 1 turn, and of course that turn I'm not immobilized. But yeah, that was quite a few turns. And here I'm just trying, finally, Feraligatr is the last Pokemon. And I'm just going to protect Surf, and Surf means it could be Quick Claw, but it doesn't have to be. In this case it is. Scary Face reveals that it is Quick Claw. So I don't want to switch in on a Surf, but now it cannot Surf, so I can switch. But it doesn't actually go for Surf here, so I'm taking a bit of a risk by going for Substitute. But it didn't activate Quick Claw, and I think I would have been fine. Maybe I died to a crit, I'm not sure. I didn't... Like, I won anyway, so... I'm pretty sure I didn't need Moltres anymore. So I decided to risk it. I probably should have just switched to Blissey, though. Or even Skarmory. But yeah, Feraligatr slowly dies to the burn. And then Espeon, I think, comes back. And we burn it. There's a Lum Berry. Now we're gonna PP stall it. And because of the Will-o-wisp, I saw that I was faster. So we can just stall for free. And it's actually already out of psychics. I just went for substitute for safety. Went for baton pass, but luckily it got burned first. But now Blissey has a bunch of Calm Mind boosts. So I figure I might as well get rid of those. If I ever get the Whirlwind, and there we go. And I Whirlwind out the Espeon again because it's gonna set up Calm Minds. Oh right, I want to burn it and get max HP on Moltres. So we get another battle with a team at full HP, and this time we still have Lum Berry on Skarmory as well. So I just set up on the Blissey. And then I'll be already set up when Espeon comes out, so I'll deal more damage as well. Instead of if it's already at +6. But then it would also already be pretty much dead to the burn, so none of it really matters. I was winning no matter what I did. And we're at max HP again. And then the last battle. Well, after we kill the Espeon. It's gonna be Triathlete Nico, who leads with Mr. Mime with Bright Powder. And it's Thunderbolt, Psychic, Ice Punch, Fire Punch. We faced off against this guy, this Mr. Mime, not too long ago. I'm just gonna go into Blissey. Set up some Calm Minds. He gets a crit immediately. But we're Blissey, so we don't really care. Set up some more Calm Minds. Took a little bit of a risk with more crits, but I just wanted to be tanky on the substitute before it starts using Thunderbolt, because the only way I really get into trouble is if I get paralyzed or frozen. I suppose I should have been a little bit more... I should have played a little bit safer at the start so I didn't die to double Psychic crit. But that didn't happen. And because Golem comes out, I know this is Quick Claw. I don't have to scout what's in the back, because it can't be Cursed Snorlax anymore or some other... I'm not sure if there even are other Pokemon. In comes Recover Milotic, who we end up critting eventually. There we go. And we're gonna go into the last battle, so it will be live. Alright, on to the last battle of the round. I think that's Aroma Lady. Yes, it's Abby. Which is a Grass Psychic Trainer. So I think we'll be fine here. This could only hurt me with Sludge Bomb. If it has it. No, double edge too. Okay, let's protect first. Sleep Powder. It could still be Sludge Bomb double edge. Oh yeah, it does have Sludge Bomb. I was about to say probably isn't because it's not attacking me, but there we go. And it's burned, so it didn't break the substitute. That makes sense. Maybe I should keep this around for a little while. There are a couple of Calm Mind Pokemon that maybe I want to be able to Whirlwind out or a double team. Probably doesn't matter too much actually. Well, we can't Whirlwind this out. Let's see what it wants to do. Ancient Power Cake. Good thing I didn't switch back to Moltres. I can't Whirlwind because of Suction Cups. And for another Ancient Power. And this means it could go for Swagger or Earthquake. If it's Swagger, we just switch back. It's Earthquake. This has Psych Up. So if it got off Swaggers, it could boost its attack, but even if it did, it wouldn't be able to do anything at this point. Unless I decide to switch in Blissey on an Earthquake. It has Citrus Berry, so it's gonna get a little bit of healing, but it's no leftovers. I wonder what the last Pokemon is going to be. We just have to wait for this to die. And then depending on the moveset, we might find out. It might be a a Thunder Punch or Thunderbolt Pokemon that will switch in against Moltres. If it's Venusaur, I'm just gonna go back to Skarmory Whirlwind again. That's one down. And we still have a full health substitute, but that probably doesn't matter. Alakazam, okay, this is gonna have Thunder Punch. Let's protect. I was going for Thunder Wave first. We got the burn, so now we've basically won. I mean, not that it could get through my Blissey. So we already won. There's the Thunder Punch. Yeah, this was a pretty easy round. The only thing that really was difficult was figuring out how I wanted to deal with the lead elements in the first battle, because of the potential Dragon Dance, but I'm actually not that afraid of Dragon Dance elements. At least I don't think so. At least not with this one. And I don't think any other ones are that much more dangerous. But I don't mind at all, because the last round was probably the toughest round I've ever had in any streak. At least for streaks or rounds that I made it through. And I usually, like, if I lose, it's just one bad fight. This was a lot of difficult fights. So switching it up with a lot of easy fights, I don't mind at all. Did take a while, some of these battles, but I had already won them a long time ago in many cases. And 2 of them I won at full HP. And I took a little bit of extra time just to ensure I got full HP. Because that's fun. Even though you get nothing for it. It's a nice achievement. Alright, that was round 26. 182 wins. We're getting very close to 200, which is very nice. And then once we hit 200, well, the goal is 30. And then after that, there's, I guess the goal is 300. That would make it a pretty high streak. Well, I'm not so sure I'll get there. I could though. But I feel like 300, with how it's going at the moment, I at least have the motivation probably to try to get it. Because I'm quite enjoying this streak. With how I'm playing now. But yeah, we'll see. We first have to get to 200. Then we can start looking past it. So thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.